Good morning, students. Today we discuss about the graphical solution of the linear equations in two variable. In this equation is given 40x plus 20y less than equals to 120. In class 10th, the equation is always given to you equals to 120. But in class 11th, there is a one extra symbol introduced, that is greater than or less than. Now, first of all, to make the table, we always kept the symbol of equality and find the value of x and y at the different situation. On substituting x is equals to 0, we get y is equals to 6. On substituting y is equals to 0, we get x is equals to 3. Remember, it is a linear equation in two variable. Linear means power 1. If it is a linear equation, then you draw a graph, then it is always a straight line. If you observe, it is a straight line. Now, what is the difference between class 10th and 11th? In class 11th, extra is the shading. Whenever you want to check the shading, you always substitute value of x is equals to 0, value of y is equals to 0. If we substitute value of x and value of y 0 in this equation, it will become 0 plus 0 less than 120. This equation is true because 120 is always greater than 0. It means the shading is always towards the origin. Whenever the result is true, your shading is always towards the origin. See this one. This is a line draw and this is the shading which should be done towards the origin. Remember one thing, whenever there is a symbol of equality in an equation, the line drawn by you is always a dark line. See, I have repeated this question again, but only one difference is there. The symbol less than is changed into greater than and symbol of equality is disappear. Rest of the things are the same. Graph drawn is the same method. But remember, see, the line here is drawn by me is a straight line, but is in the form of the shaded line. It is in the form of dotted lines, and the shading is according to the statement. When substitute 0 and 0, it is a false statement, and whenever there is a false statement, the shading is always away from the origin. You have to see the shading on this side. This is your origin and shading is always away from the origin. See this two graph clearly. This graph contain a dark line, this graph contain dotted line. This graph contain dark line only due to the symbol of equality, and this graph will not contain the dark line due to the absence of symbol of equality. This is the major difference between the two graphs. In one, I show the shading towards the origin because the result is true, and in other case I show the result away from the origin because the result is false.